Spring has sprung, the sun's out, the daffodils are in full bloom, but unfortunately the world is in lockdown. Here's 10 fragrances that you can wear around the house to lift your mood and to bring in some springtime freshness. Welcome to Mags Frags. Hello again everybody and welcome to Mags Frags. I'm Paul and in this video I will be giving my thoughts on 10 designer men's fragrances that I feel are great for the springtime. These are also great to wear around the house whilst we're all self-isolating because of their fresh, citrusy or floral characteristics. So this video could have been really easy for me to create by recommending all the usual suspects like Bleu de Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana, Light Blue, Eau Intense, or Dior Sauvage. So for this video, I've decided to try to think outside the box and be less predictable and give a mention to some new designer fragrances, as well as some more creative options that aren't as readily available in the high street shops. This list is in no particular order. It's not a chart rundown of my personal favourites or anything like that. It's just 10 bright and uplifting fragrances that I feel will be great for wearing on a daily basis whilst we're all staying at home and self-isolating. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at what's on this list. Yeah, the first one on this list is from the house of Moschino, and this one goes by the name of Toy Boy Eau de Parfum. Yeah, so this one is a brand new fragrance for 2020. It's a woody floral composition which opens up with a strong presence of rose and a layer of spiciness. It dries down to a really sophisticated blend of woody notes and a touch of ambery sweetness. The prominent notes in this are pink pepper, rose, nutmeg, cashmeran, vetiver, pear, bergamot, magnolia, amber and sandalwood. This is a really unique and interesting fragrance that I feel would be more of an evening date night scent of someone maybe aged 25 and above. I would say this could be worn in any season, but because of the strong presence of rose, I feel it would be perfect for the spring and summertime. This is a Eau de Parfum concentration, so the longevity is excellent, giving me a good 10 hours of life, and it projects for a good 2 to 3 hours off my skin. It comes in this quirky teddy bear bottle, which I think looks great in my collection. It costs around about £70 for a 100ml bottle like this one, and that's available from all like discounters now. This has been one of my favourite releases so far in 2020. It smells really unique and nothing like anything that I already own. I would give this one a solid 9 out of 10. So that one coming in, bringing us in at number 10, we've got Moschino Toy Boy Eau de Parfum. Okay, next up from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier. This one is a flanker from the very popular Le Male lineup. And this one goes by the name of In the Navy. Yeah, this one is fresh and clean with a minty, salty, aquatic scent profile. The opening reminds me of a less aggressive take on Versace Eros, and it dries down to a similar DNA to the original Le Male with a prominent note of vanilla in the base. There's only 5 notes listed in this fragrance, which are mint, watery notes, sea notes, vanilla and ambergris. So this one can be worn casually during the day for a walk along the seafront in your jeans and your t-shirt, but it would also be fine for warmer evenings also. It's a more powerful and grown-up take on the original Le Male, but it's still got a fairly youthful and playful vibe to it. It lasts a good 6 to 7 hours with decent projection for about half an hour to an hour or so, and then it becomes a skin scent. It's a generic blue fragrance and it's not going to excite the avid fragrance enthusiast, but to the average person it smells really nice and it's going to get you plenty of compliments. If you don't own anything like Versace Eros or Invictus Aqua or anything like that, this one's definitely worth checking out. In the UK, it's exclusive to the fragrance shop and it sells for around about £70 for a 125ml bottle like this one. So a score out of 10, I would probably give this about a 7 or an 8, just because it's very similar to a lot of other blue fresh fragrances out there. But if you don't already own a fresh fragrance, then this is definitely a great one for spring, and it's going to be inoffensive to wear around the house. It's not going to choke anybody out or anything like that. So yeah, definitely one to check out is this one. That is In the Navy by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Okay, coming in at the number 8 spot, we have from the house of John Varvatos, we have Artisan Pure Eau de Toilette. So this was released in 2017 and is a blend of citrusy, spicy and woody notes. It smells crisp and clean and it dries down to a masculine woody base. The top notes in this are mandarin orange, clementine, thyme, lemon and bergamot. In the mid we have petitgrain and ginger, and in the base we have woody notes, orris root, amber and musk. This is perfect for wearing outdoors in the spring or summer. It's super easy to wear and it opens up with a bright blast of citruses and herbal spiciness from the thyme and a clean soapiness from the neroli. The woody notes in the base are also present from the start and the fragrance stays quite linear throughout its life. The performance is decent for a fresh fragrance, and I would say in terms of value for money, this one is probably the best on this list. I picked up this one for around £45 for a 125ml bottle, which I think is a bargain for such a unique designer fragrance. I would give this one a solid 8 out of 10 as a spring fragrance, and I would recommend this as a blind buy because I'm super confident that you won't already own anything that smells like this one. So yeah, if you haven't already tried this one, I urge you to go out and even blind buy this one. This is a really great release. This is John Varvatos. This is Artisan Pure Eau de Toilette. Go buy it. Okay, coming in at number 7, from the house of Valentino, we have Valentino Warmer, Born in Roma. Yeah, so this one was launched in 2019 and is currently one of the top selling men's fragrances in the UK. It's a woody, fresh and spicy aromatic fragrance with a touch of sweetness and ozonic notes that make it perfect for the springtime. The notes in this are violet leaf, salt, mineral notes, sage, ginger, vetiver and woody notes. This is a mass appealing fragrance and has a really beautiful opening which is dominated by sweet smelling floral notes blended with a touch of saltiness, but the overall smell is quite generic. The dry down is also quite synthetic and it retains some of its sweetness, but I also detect a little bit of powderiness as well to it, but it's not in the same kind of vein as Dior Homme Intense or Prada L'Homme or anything like that. It's just kind of in the background, but there is a little bit of powderiness to this one as well. The bottle presentation is really high quality with this studded glass bottle with the leather detailing that runs through the centre. This is really versatile and it would be suitable for a date night scent. You could even wear this just going for a casual meal, or even as a day scent. You would probably be able to wear this as like an office scent as well because it's not going to offend anybody, but I don't think it's aggressive enough or loud enough to be considered a clubbing fragrance. The performance is good but not great. When I spray it on my clothes it's fine. But if I spray it on my skin, I'm only getting around about 3 to 4 hours and then it needs to be reapplied. Price wise, I think this one's around about £65 for a 100ml bottle. And in terms of a score, I would probably say this one's about an 8 out of 10 for me. I'd say it's really nice. You're gonna get compliments with this one for sure. But if you own more than 2 or 3 modern day blue fragrances, you're gonna have a fragrance that smells quite similar to this one because it is pretty generic overall. But it is pleasant, really nice. You can't really fault the smell of it. So for that, coming in at number 7. Got Valentino Warmer, Born in Roma. Okay, next up from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, we have Warmer Urban Feel. Yeah, so this one is another one that's launched in 2019, and it's a very bright, crowd-pleasing freshie. It's really difficult these days for a new fresh release not to be compared to the likes of Creed Aventus or Dior Sauvage. But this one to me blends the opening of Aventus with the dry down of Sauvage without quite reaching the quality of either of those two. The notes in this are bergamot, clary sage, ozonic notes, coffee, cumin, driftwood, cedar, ambroxan, labdanum, incense and patchouli. This is another Dunreach super versatile fragrance that can be worn day or night or in any situation. This would also be ideal to wear in the office. And speaking of office, this also reminds me a little bit of Office for Men by Fragrance One, but it's not exactly the same, and this one goes off in its own direction. I also get a little bit of an orangey vibe from this one, even though there's no orange listed at all in the note breakdown. The performance is okay, but it's not beast mode like Sauvage, Aventus or even Office. And if you own any of those, I think this one would be a redundant purchase. But if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend upwards of £150, then this is a good value buy. You can pick this one up for around about £50, I believe, for a 100ml bottle. And I'd probably give this one about a 7 out of 10 because it's too similar to lots of other blue fragrances, but it still smells really pleasant, and you're not going to be disappointed if this is the only bottle that you own. So yeah, coming in at number 6, we have got from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, that is Warmer Urban Feel. Yeah, so this next one is not as readily available as the other ones that I've just spoken about, but you can pick this one up from the Fragrance X website, and it's still available on eBay at a reasonable price. So yeah, this one's from the house of Thierry Mugler. It's from the Amen lineup, and this one is Crypto Mint. Yeah, so this was a limited edition and it was launched in 2017. It's an uplifting and energetic scent with peppermint and chocolate as the main ingredients. The other notes include sage, geranium, patchouli, tonka bean, coffee and vanilla. Right from the very first spray, the mint and dark chocolate notes reminds me of like a box of After Eight mints. As with all the Amen lineup, this is a unique and interesting scent that is very intoxicating and it draws you in. The patchouli gives it a crisp, clean characteristic, whilst the tonka, coffee and vanilla give it a touch of sweetness during the dry down. The performance on this is excellent, both in projection and longevity, and for around £50 for a 100ml bottle, this is great value for money and looks stunning in the collection. This one gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me, and it's one that I reach for when I'm looking for something completely unique and different to wear in the warmer weathers. If you haven't already tried this one, give it a go because it's getting more difficult to find, and others in the Amen lineup that have been discontinued, including like Ultra Zest and Pure Wood, etc. They're going for ridiculous prices now on eBay. I think Ultra Zest going for like £150 for a 100ml bottle when it used to retail at just over 40. So yeah, they're going for silly money on eBay now. So grab this one while you can. It's definitely worth a pickup. That is Crypto Mint by Thierry Mugler. Okay, this next one is another one that's been recently discontinued, and it's been reviewed many times, and it's by the house of Bulgari, and this is Bulgari Aqua Amara. Yeah, so this one is a love it or hate it type fragrance. I've watched and read loads of reviews on this one, and it divides opinion right down the middle. This is a sharp, citrusy, aquatic scent with a powerful bitter orange opening with Sicilian mandarin, patchouli and neroli, giving it a polarizing and somewhat strange first impression. Some people say it smells like orange kitchen cleaner, which I personally feel is a little bit unfair, but this is definitely one that I would recommend you try before you buy. The whole composition is made up of only 5 notes, so it stays quite linear apart from the bitter orange that fades slightly, and it becomes a more pleasant, enjoyable scent during the dry down. This one has beast mode performance for a fresh fragrance, so I would say go easy on the trigger if you are planning on wearing this indoors as an office scent. This is now discontinued, like I said before, and it's fairly difficult to find, but you can still pick this one up in a 50ml bottle like this one from Fragrance X or on the Notino website. Like I say, it does divide opinion. People hate this one. I personally really enjoy it. The performance is great, and for that I'm going to give this one a nice solid 8 out of 10 for a spring fresh fragrance. So yeah, coming in at number 4, we've got Bulgari Aqua Amara. Okay, this next one is another one from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, and this is their latest release, and it goes by the name of Le Beau. So this was another one that was launched in 2019, and it was my go-to fragrance last year. It has a total of 3 notes, which are bergamot, coconut and tonka bean. It's an uplifting blast of tropical summer goodness with just the right amount of sweetness and freshness. The coconut is the prominent note which holds all the composition together, and this is supported by a fresh bergamot opening and a sweet tonka bean dry down. In my opinion, this one is better suited to the spring rather than really hot summer months, because it has a fair bit of sweetness, but not as much as Le Male or Ultra Male. The performance is excellent, and it projects for 2 to 3 hours and lasts a good 8 hours on my skin. You can pick this one up for around about £70 for a 125ml bottle like this one, and I would give this a 9.5 out of 10 for a spring fragrance. But this one is only for anyone who enjoys the scent of coconut, because that's pretty much all you're going to get from this one. It also reminds me of, I don't know if many people remember this, but in the UK there used to be a drink called Quattro, which was a tropical fruit drink back in the late 80s, I believe. It has a little bit of that tropical fizzy drink vibe, but there is it's heavy presence of coconut as well in this. But yeah, overall, it's super spring and summer fragrance, and if you haven't already tried this one, I definitely recommend that you give this one a go. So that is Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau. Okay, we've just got a couple more to go now, and next up we've got one by Emporio Armani, and this is the latest flanker to the Stronger With You lineup, and this one goes by the name of Stronger With You Freeze. Yeah, so this one is a fresh, spicy, aromatic, citrusy, sweet masterpiece. I can't think of a fragrance that I'd say was better suited to the springtime. The top notes in this are bergamot, ginger, mandarin orange and apple. In the mids we've got lavender, sage, geranium and cardamom, and in the base we've got roasted chestnut, amber wood, guaiac wood and vanilla. This one maintains the original Stronger With You DNA in the dry down, but it opens up with a fresher, more spicy take on the original. This is best suited for cooler spring days or as a night out scent. It may still be a little bit dense to wear as an office scent, as it projects like a monster and it lasts over 10 hours. I reviewed this one a couple of months ago and it wasn't available in the UK, so at that time, so I paid a little bit more than I should have got it for, because I had to buy it from Italy. But now it's available in the UK, and I think it goes for around about £70 for a 100ml bottle. If I was going to give this one a mark out of 10, I would give this one, it's probably the only one on this list that I would give a full 10 out of 10 for. It's got just the right amount of spiciness, it's peppery, It's got a bit of sweetness to it, but not too much. It projects like a beast. It lasts all day. It literally just ticks every box that a fresh fragrance should tick. And it's also quite unique as well. I don't think you're going to smell like a blue fragrance like this one. It really is a good release, is this one. And as you can see, there's only half a bottle left. When I bought this one, I decided that I was going to sell some 5ml decants just so that other people could have a test of this one. But after about 3 days, it had gone down to half a bottle, so I thought I'd keep this for myself. But yeah, this is an absolute banger of a fragrance, and one that I would definitely urge you to try out. It's going to be a huge one for 2020, is this one. So yeah, coming in at the number 2 position, we've got Armani, Emporio Armani, Stronger With You, Freeze. Okay, last but not least, we have one more to go on this list. And this one is also from the house of Armani, but this one is from Giorgio Armani. And this is the latest flanker to the Aqua di Gio lineup. And this one is Profundo. So this is another fragrance that's not available in many countries yet. I purchased this one about 3 weeks ago, and I decided to decant it for people in a fragrance group. And as you can see, there's nothing left in the bottle, and I already have a second one on its way. This is generating some serious hype in the fragrance community, and it's going to be a huge seller in 2020. This is a bright, energising, fresh, citrusy scent that dries down to a more woody base. The nose behind this one is Alberto Marillas, who is also the perfumer behind Office for Men by Fragrance One. And I've got to say, the similarity between these two is extremely similar. I would say 95% similar to Office for Men. I think Office may perform a little bit better than this, but in terms of smell, very, very close. This is extremely versatile, and it can be worn as an office scent for casual wear, or as an evening scent if you wanted to wear it as a date night scent as well. The performance on this one is where I feel it probably lets itself down a little bit, and I think it could do a little bit better. It has decent longevity, but it stays fairly close to the skin from the first spray. This is not still readily available in the UK, so it's fairly pricey, and will set you back around about £90 for a 125ml bottle like this one. So scored out of 10, I would give this one an 8 out of 10. It would get a higher mark if it projected just a little bit more, and in terms of other flankers, I think I prefer the Profumo version more than this one. But in terms of a spring scent, I think this is probably better suited to spring, because it's not as loud and it's not as piercing and screamy than the Profumo version. So yeah, that's finishing off our list for today, and that is an empty bottle of Profundo by Giorgio Armani. Okay, once again, that's about it for this episode of Mags Frags. Don't forget, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, or hit the bell icon for notifications of future videos. Also, don't forget, if you live in the UK and you'd like to sample any of the fragrances featured in this video, I now sell 5ml decants on eBay, and I'll be posting the links down in the description. I'd also like to hear your thoughts on your favourite spring fragrances, so let me know down in the comments section. Once again, thank you very much for your support. Until next time, stay safe everybody. Don't forget to keep your 2-metre distances, and make sure you're washing your hands regularly. Until next time, take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.